She's supposed to be in a pond.
Yeah.
Shut up!
Rules is written. She got
Not as long as I am in this chair. When last we left our heroes...
We went to Hyros' house.
Yeah, we were having a village episode.
Yeah.
Yes, a beach. It wasn't really a beach.
A riverside beach.
Riverside. Yeah.
Episode. Much fun was had at the Hearth.
Yeah.
In Wyvern.
Hanging out in Wyvern Glen. Hanging out with Hyros, Rhea, Adrastos, and the grandmoms.
I think where we left off, everyone was just headed to bed.
Yeah, we were sleeping for the night.
Sleepy.
Assuming that nothing comes and murders us all in the evening.
Can you please stop?
Tell. You never can tell, can you?
Well, you do in real life, I do in D&D.
Nope, nothing does. So all of you spend a quiet night, Alcyone, perhaps feeling a little long grown for her childhood bed. You two comfortable in the home Hyros built. Kashek having learned of love for the first time.
Much more.
Right.
He's a beginner.
But a peaceful night nonetheless.
He's gonna wake up to me and be like, I love you, 3.
But yeah, you awake in the morn to a comfortable sunrise, birds chittering in the trees, in the forest surrounding the home. What would you like to do?
I make sure that the lad is there.
He went outside
The
with the
baby's
shed.
there. Oh, right, you left
Yeah.
him under the
He's
tree.
below, yeah.
Yes. Yes, you did. Let's find out.
Check wins.
Let's find out.
Anyway.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Did you decide what the roll meant after you made it?
Yep.
gonna get
Well, I always just
No.
roll,
I know.
and then I know what happens when I see the number.
And I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
I fully do.
That's my DM style. It's just to pull it out of my
Gonna
ass.
go ahead and make a survival check to track that little bastard.
Please do.
Woo! 12. I'm sorry. 22. Much different.
Well, that's better. Yes, jumping down from your lofty perch to come to settle on the ground below the tree in which you slept, you have little trouble in locating the awkward gait of the baby trundling through the underbrush. You see his little footprints heading back towards the river, heading off in that direction, following his trail. It's easy to find. He plows a trail through the taller grasses of the forest. And before too long, you come to the banks of the river, and you see him splashing in the shallows. Yeah. And you see...
Splashing or drowning?
Splashing.
Okay.
Shallows.
Okay.
You see him make his way into the water, and he pokes his little head under and kind of trundles around in the shallows, splishing his feet with his head pressed under the water.
He's trying to fish.
And then he comes up and walks back to the shore, and you see him deposit something on the shore, and then he heads back in. And as you draw closer, you see he has put together a collection of stones on the riverbank. And he's just sort of going about this work, going into the river, finding a stone that pleases him for one reason or another, going back out.
He doesn't think they're fish, right?
Well, he hasn't tried to choke on one yet.
Yeah.
You'll have to ask him.
I'll
Shake,
watch
boy.
him.
Rattle, rattle,
He
rattle.
sounds like a maraca.
I was thinking like a bag of marbles, but yeah.
I'll watch him for a while from a distance.
He goes about his business for a while. After a little while, as he comes back out and deposits yet another one on the bank of the river, his little ears go up and his eyes kind of go wide. He seems to have caught the scent of you. And he kind of gets down into a lower position, swinging his head around, growling adorably.
That was actually Kashek. I'll walk up to him. He knows who I am.
Yeah, you do so emerging from the brush, and as you walk towards him, he swings his head around, and his big eyes come to settle on you. And as soon as he sees it's you, Kashek, he kind of comes out of attack stance and just returns to playing in the shallows of the water.
I don't want to stop him. Fuck it, I'll chill with him. I'll have a relaxing morning. I'll catch my breakfast fine. I'm not going to stop his great work.
He just
Moving
goes
to
about,
Florida.
he just, is retrieving. He'll spend, sometimes he'll put his head under for, 2, 3, sometimes 4 times, and then emerge with the stone and deposit it in the same place on the side of the river.
Who am I to interrupt an artist and his magnum opus? I mean,
Okay, Kashek's chilling with the boy. Anybody else?
Guess
Get up and go downstairs.
Wake up and look outside.
You don't see Kashek in his tree, nor the boy.
Fight the urge to apparate outside and immediately go tearing through the woods looking for them.
clipping T-posedly through the wall.
What's going on?
They'll be fine. He's fine. They're fine. They're
I'm
not
sure.
bad, but they're fine.
I'm sure they're fine. They're probably hunting.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Alcyone will go downstairs pretty early in the morning, having not slept terribly well.
Mm-hmm. I imagine as soon as you make your way downstairs, Hyro's already at work in the kitchen, probably.
Making a slow morning breakfast.
Making an omelet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll head downstairs too.
You all make your way downstairs into the cozy living room, where you can sort of hear the sounds and smell the smells wafting out of the kitchen. Hyro's busy at work.
Good morning, my friends. Oh, sorry. Good morning, my friends.
Good morning, Iris.
Did the mead treat you kindly?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, good. Sometimes for people who are new to it, it's very sweet, so it can give a headache on the next day.
I tend not to overindulge anyway.
You have so much fun, don't you?
I really do.
Good.
It's nice being here.
Excellent. You stay as long as you like, of course. I have been telling, of course, Alcyone this. Holds a cup of tea. Morning.
Morning, Alcyone.
Sleep all right? I know Briseis' bed is big enough for several, so...
Yeah.
She's not, like, abnormally large even. It's just, yeah.
Yeah,
Mirror.
alright, Alcyone.
The mirror hanging above it was a nice touch.
She has an admiration of herself. One would argue all actors do as well. Actors. Well, I'm going to make enough of this honking omelet for everyone to have some of. And there will be some, there's some berries to have, of course, which are very delicious. And I have tea that is being made as well. It is Rhea's own gathering. She is very good at finding what makes a good scent of tea. Less so for me. I can deal with the cooking and the baking very well, but it's more like herb lore. That is somewhat out of my realm of expertise. Good spices I can do. Blessings.
There is a bit of a balance to it. Oftentimes the problem is that it gets burned. You don't actually want the water boiling.
See, I suppose that makes sense, but you have to boil water for cooking things, so I would probably go to boiling naturally.
I'll go poke around and see what this tea's about. Otherwise, just have a quiet little morning.
Back at the riverbank, after a little while, it seems he's put together a fairly sizable collection of stones, and he stops going back into the river and instead just kind of begins sifting through them.
He's writing help.
Spreading them all out seemingly so that he can get a good look, and then he just kind of like sits down on his little haunches and stares at the collected pile for a little while, moving his eyes from one to the other.
You may select one.
And he looks up at you with determination in his eyes, and then returns. And he does. He kind of plods his way forward, opens his beaker to reach towards one, considers, no, not quite. And then he snaps one up and plods his way over to you, Kashek, and just kind of looks up at you expectantly.
Pick up his little cheeks.
He holds his little arms up in the air to let you pick him up. He's hefty these days, but you manage. All right.
Returning this to camp. Make sure his rock is placed firmly in his mouth.
He's got it squarely clapped in his tiny little beak.
I love when you have to pick up an animal that size. Like when you have to pick up like a medium-sized dog and you have to like put them under your arm like
And
a
they
football.
Suitcase.
And they kind of go, hey,
Stop.
what's going on? I'm not small enough for this. Evan? It's fine.
Tie his legs around my staff like a bindle.
Just dress him up.
Yeah, like a fucking rabbit.
Like
with a
you're
spit.
You gotta cook him over a...
No!
No,
There's no fire involved. It's
easy
just
transportation.
tire him. Tie him up.
He's compactable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make your way back to the house. And entering back in, you find everyone sat around the living room enjoying a lovely breakfast.
At some point, Adrastos appears in a puff of a door. Morning.
Was the stairs not to your liking this morning?
What kind of wizard would I be if I were using stairs all the time?
I suppose you do have... Flair is part of the job description.
Flare, not stairs.
Surrie 24 hours ago. I love all of my adopted siblings equally. Surrie this morning.
I don't care for justice.
I don't care for Adrastos.
No, they are eye rolls of love.
Oh, breakfast. Great. So he just takes a chunk of omelet and just picks off pieces and tosses them in his mouth. He sits cross-legged on a cushion. Oh, sure, if you're offering.
Yeah, he can have some.
As you make your way back into the house, Kashek, once you're inside, he kind of begins to squirm a little bit.
Oh, I put him down.
You put him down, and Seren, he walks over to you and sort of gingerly deposits the stone at your feet, and then he looks like a little sheepish and uncomfortable, and he kind of like scoots his little boot across the floor and starts kind of making his way up the stairs.
Thank you.
He's so stupid.
Well, if he were smart, that'd be worrying, so...
I'll pick up the rock.
It's very smooth and has some like that kind of like lovely sort of mineral kind of speckled gleam to it. And it's not perfect. The outline is a little lumpy. But you wager it's the closest he could get to a crescent.
Just kind of hold it. Pick it up. And then she blue screens while I go cry in the other room.
Sure.
No, I pick it up. Just kind of play with it. Like a worry stone.
Mm-hmm.
Did you two have a successful morning, I see?
Yes. He is quite the scavenger.
What does that mean, Kashek?
He went fishing for these. He found as many as
50.
Probably like 24 max.
24.
Max.
How many were there?
a few.
Did he eat something?
I do not think so, but I did not check.
Huh.
There were probably some fish bones scattered amongst the...
He was looking for a
collection of
present
stones.
to give you, apparently.
I can see that.
Treasure it. I do not need to be told that that is a treasure.
Thank you, Kashek.
So you've got the pet that brings you treasures. That's pretty good.
He's not a pet.
You've got the little guy that brings you treasures. That's pretty good.
That's actually the closest description I think anyone's ever made. Thank you for the rest of this. I was looking to put more in the cup, and now I don't have to worry about drinking it.
I'm a giver.
I go pour myself some more tea.
Nice and hot, please.
Well, oh, right, I suppose.
Do you want your own cup?
No.
Your heat tolerance must be I mean, I don't want to assume. What?
I'm kidding.
No, you're right. Hot isn't very hot
Seren,
for
you
any of
can't
us.
just ask people what their heat tolerance is.
You can't just assume that a tiefling is fire resistant. I'll pour a little bit more in my cup than I would have normally. It's now a shared cup.
Hyros has finished making the breakfast, so has sat down and helped himself to a sizable portion of the omelet as well. So, I know that you are not going to stay forever, but do you know how long you are wanting to rest up here, please?
Can I make an insight check on Surrie?
Suspicion!
What do you want to know?
of suspicion. What are you trying to find out?
Oh, that's not great. With a 16, I would like to gauge her feelings without speaking over her. Like, what does she look like when he says that?
She got a 16. What are you feeling, Surrie?
I'm not gonna make anyone stay for a really long time, but I want to stay for a little bit.
Surrie, how do you feel?
I'll do it on my own at first, and then I'll just ask her.
Thanks. I mean, I'd like to stay for maybe a couple more nights. I don't know what everyone else had in mind, but...
I mean, that's fine for me, personally. I've got my own room and everything.
You too?
I'm happy to take a breather.
Hyros,
Yes, Fred Kashek.
is there a market here or nearby?
There is a, you might call it a trading post. For when the transports come to take the lumber, they will sometimes meet with our local tradesman who has a name, of course.
I imagine
His name
these
is
would be
Bradesman.
extremely basic goods. Yeah, okay.
The fanciest thing this town has is a tavern. He does do some trading. You might have to speak up sometimes. He is very old. Are you looking for something in particular?
I would like to take up the sitar again, but I do not think I will find one here.
You see a light come into Iris' eyes. You are learning to... You say, again, you used to play the sitar.
Yes.
Sitar, that is sort of like a... not Alcyone.
It's string. It does the things like a lute or, things like that.
Oh, but that is... I didn't know you were a musician, Master Gershek. That is very exciting to hear.
I do not perform.
Well,
I play for myself.
and there is no greater thing than to practice for one's own benefit. If I do not know if you will have a sitar, but you're welcome to borrow. I don't know if we have one in the home, but between myself and Alcyone, we do have some instruments here.
And I told you you're welcome to borrow my lyre anytime.
I tried to play your lyre. It is not quite the same.
Of course not.
I would like to get one from my homeland, but I do not know if I will find any in Arcadia.
Well, I doubt if old Mylin will have anything quite that particularly fancy, but you can always try him. He does have the oddest things. I won't say they're useful, but they are odd.
Perhaps I will ask him, but if we are to stay for a few more days, I have something else in mind that I might spend the night doing.
Ah.
Very well. I do not, of course, wish to hold anyone hostage, you know. I joke, of course. It's nice to see friends again, you know.
They cannot stay forever, my love. Rhea coming down the stairs. They are very important representatives of the capital now, you know.
Oh, of course. Far be it from me to hold back the heroes or whatever it is.
I wish people would stop calling us that.
I don't blame you.
Well, if it is not something you wish to be any longer, you always have that choice, I suppose. Though I do not know these people who you are now employed to, or...
The work itself is not what troubles me. I just wish people would stop lauding us all the time.
I mean, you've done some pretty laudable actions, have to say.
Sure.
I did like one very big thing.
Rhea, this blend is very good. Thank you for sharing it.
You're too sweet. I'm glad you enjoy.
Well, if we're staying here for a couple of days, I'm gonna go for a walk. I think I need to clear my head. Things keep spinning and such. Yeah. So you will enjoy staying here for a little while or whatever. I'll be back in a couple of hours, something like that. Alcyone will get up and wander out the front door, grabbing her hat on the way.
All right.
Do so. Is she okay? Rhea looks to you two.
Doesn't seem like it. She hasn't told me anything.
It seems that being back here has troubled her in some way or another. Did something happen to you out on the road?
Not on the road, no. And if I may, we spoke very briefly about what's been troubling her, and I doubt I have much more information than you do, but it's not exactly mine to tell.
The shepherds again.
Partly.
The poor thing. When she came back to us from them, she would not tell us what exactly had happened, but they did something. I do not trust them.
She is not a fearful child, ever, and I have never seen her in fear as she was when she returned from there.
As I said, it's not my place to tell, but a very small part of it from what we spoke of was feeling tethered to a place she does not feel she fits much anymore. Outgrown.
Here, you mean?
That came out wrong. Not in a negative way. I mean it. Big things are happening that she feels partially responsible for stopping, and there's not much we can do about it from here. Is all I mean.
The world is changing. That's to be sure.
Whatever part we played in that, we did for good or ill. Or perhaps a bit of both.
That's usually closer.
It seems to have complicated things at the very least. I think we should let her be for now. If she is in her head, she will need to sort out what is in her head.
I've always said that she's got like 6 or 7 things going wrong inside her head, but that's sort of just me, personally.
How did you manage to get that from under my nose, Adrastus?
Well, you weren't using it. For like 2 seconds.
Right.
He did a little clacky thing with his fingers.
Well, this is here nor there. Please do enjoy your breakfast, and do feel free to stay as long as you wish. We are happy to have you here under the boughs.
More than happy. Overjoyed to have you all home. At least a home.
That's closer.
So, if the plan is to stay a few days, anything anyone wants to do?
Someone else should go first. If anyone has to go at all.
You spend a few days just sort of resting and recuperating at the Hearth. It's a small place, and before too long it becomes as comfortable as home for all of you. Perhaps more comfortable than home ever was for some of you. It's a lovely day. A sort of nice, casual ritual starts to take place. You wake up in the morning and have all sort of collaboratively come in on breakfast, and then spend your days exploring the riverbanks, working through the trees, perhaps Kashek working on his instrumental skills, if that's a goal.
I won't do that until I actually have a sitar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Giddy up. One of these days, Surrie, Rhea comes to you.
Yeah, cool.
And says, Surrie, I don't wonder if you could help me with a bit of the washing in the river.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you are too kind. Please, do come with me. And you set out together back towards the banks of the river with
Fear.
Mom, do you want my new washing techniques? I think they're going to be great.
I'm sure they are, my love, but sometimes I think the old ways are best.
It's less water, more electricity.
I know. Yeah, you told me about it before.
On clothing, it's very fascinating.
I'm sure.
And bad.
Right. See you later.
So you walk with a basket down to the banks of the river, and Rhea begins to sort of like spread out some articles of clothing in the water, gently washing them. And as she goes about her work, have I told you lately how happy you are here? It makes my husband very happy to see you happy and safe.
It's lovely to be here.
I'm glad you think so. I could not help but notice, though, and if I put my nose in a place it does not belong, please, please be more than welcome to tell me. But to me it seems something weighs heavy on you, child. It could just be my motherly instincts in overdrive, but I wanted to ask. Is everything okay?
No, you're alright. I think everything's okay now. I don't really know. We were talking before about Traven, and we did get into some trouble there with the priest, and it went badly for us, and me especially.
I had gathered that much, yes. this weighs heavy on you.
It's a difficult thing to go through.
I can imagine. And having someone out there, and she very determinedly kind of looks down at her washing as she speaks. Having someone out there watching over you is not always the comfort it would first appear.
No. You can tell then.
Kairos mentioned something. I hope you will not be upset, my child, but you pick up on things. This may be a strange question, but it's always a little bit different. How much of an interest have they taken in you? It is okay to say you do not know.
Do I have an idea? A fair bit. A bit.
You don't really have a reference for
Yeah.
what is and isn't a lot. I don't know. It's just kind of a feeling.
I don't know. It's all new to me. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what any of it means.
What I will say to you, Surrie. In Elvish, the word for friend is roker. The word for enemy is roker. And if you are not very fluently versed in Elvish, it is very easy to misinterpret and make a terrible mistake. Do you follow me?
I think so.
We don't speak the language of those that watch us. And it is very easy to make a terrible mistake. Just be careful. I do not say this to scare you, child, or upset you. I do this because my husband loves you. And if you need help, I am here for you.
I just don't know what I'm doing.
I know. It is a brave new world you are navigating all by yourself. And the roadmap given to you, sometimes very purposefully, is misleading. Just be strong. Do not take guff. Stand bold. Yes?
Yes.
And you will be fine. There is a way beyond all of this. Just be careful.
I will.
Let us not dwell in gloom and doom. This is supposed to be a relaxing break for you all.
Yeah.
But remember what I have said.
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. I love you as one of my own.
I love you too.
Well, washing's done. Shall we make our way?
All right.
Most excellent. You make your way back. Did you have anything further, Kashay?
I know what I want him to do, like, while we're sort of down timing.
What do you got?
He's going to spend a day in Kresk.
Oh.
A full day so that I can get back. Not that I really have a choice.
Oh, sure.
I'm not really looking to, like, roleplay it necessarily. It's just another, like, Kashek's gone for a day.
Okay. You notice Kashek, one of these 2 or 3 days, however long you're spending here in Wyvern Glen, one of those days, Kashek is conspicuously absent.
Do you tell us where you go?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to hide it.
Yeah.
Do you tell us before you leave?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Kresk for a day. I'd like to speak with Torek.
Well, give him our best regards.
Yeah.
I will do that.
And if you see Castor, same color as me, smaller horns, younger looking.
I saw him.
Ah, well then do bid him, give him our love as well. Thank you, Master Kashek.
And just again, he just walks around a tree and is gone.
I wish there was someone else in Barovia we could trust to deliver something to Irina.
I know. I thought maybe Casta, but
If
it's far.
It's far, and if he's been learning under Dwarric, it's...
I know.
I could do it.
Can you?
What do you mean?
I could walk into Barovia and then, come back from Barovia and then I'll be here.
How?
Okay.
The same way anyone gets to Barovia anymore these days.
Walks?
Yeah,
Just to deliver a letter to someone you've never met.
sure.
Is he telling the truth?
Inside check.
That's the sound of a bored man.
17.
I mean, I wouldn't walk the whole way. I mean, I would appear places, maybe fly for a little while. Mix it up,
Why would you do that?
Well, you're my adopted sister now, and you're both very good friends of Dad, and whatever else he may be, he's a phenomenal judge of character. So, yeah.
Why don't you like your father, any of you?
Of course I like him. How could you not like him?
That's what Alcyone keeps saying. I don't know why. It's not that I don't... trust is a strong word. It's not that I
His
don't...
eyebrows just like constantly doing the thing. Wiggling.
Oh, that was Surrey's exact reaction.
Our friend is, hesitant to trust new people, although I think it's fairly obvious that you are connected to Hyros in some way.
Is it the accent? I could change that.
No, that would probably be better, actually.
The color? I could change that too.
No, do you think that she would...
No.
A touchy friend?
In a manner of speaking, pointy is the
Not
word
the
that
way
I
you
would
think.
probably use, actually. Would you deliver something for us?
Sure. I'm really just doing my own experiments up here, and in the meantime, in the off season. Not a lot of sailing going on this time. Well, not my kind of sailing.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, alright, thank you.
If you really want to, you don't have to.
Sure, I'll set out when you all set out. That'll be nice and easy. It'll be a lovely, fun farewell.
Alright.
See if I can get some dove feathers to appear when I'm doing that. Yeah. Oftentimes I can't help but actually make seagull feathers, which is unfortunate because everyone hates seagulls.
Well, she's never seen one, so...
Wow. Then the effect will be lost. I'll work on it. Yeah, don't worry. As soon as you all head out, I'll go head out as well. Deliver a letter to Irina.
Thank
You said yes?
Yes. Yeah, okay, then over the day I will write a very fumbling letter to Irina.
What's the gist?
Can I write that to you while we're on a fiver?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Nice.
So writing a letter to Irina, which
Addressed as
Addressed
He offered!
good luck.
He did. I don't know. It's
I also wrote a letter.
great.
That
Wait,
was
do you
days
want-
ago, though.
Do you want me to take that as well?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Sorry.
These are both going to her?
Yes.
Wow, popular.
Why not just ask Kashek? Like, not to like.
Because he'll tell
'Cause-
Dwarric.
You don't know that.
I don't
Yeah, but
know
they don't
that.
know that.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, you're. My own logic used against me.
He's like your son or something.
Whatever that means.
He said, like a father. I want to reiterate.
I
that.
said like a son or something.
Also, that's how one of them thinks. So, do you want me to like combine the two letters or something, or?
I
No?
don't think you have to.
All right. I'm just saying, 2 letters. That's exciting for somebody.
She deserves it.
Which one does she get first?
Doesn't really matter. Surrey's, I guess.
Doesn't it?
No.
All right.
Are you going to wait and watch her read one and then give her the other one? That's weird.
If it's dramatic enough. I don't know.
Why,
I don't write
Alcyone?
letters.
Come on.
This idea is seeming worse and worse by the second.
No, unless I want it to be.
Of course.
And he will snap at his wooden fingers and look exactly like Alcyone. Now I'm her.
Too bad she can't be here to see it.
No. Out on her walks. Probably going to her stupid tree.
You don't sound very much like her, and I mean that as a constructive criticism.
Well, look, she's the actor. I don't know what you want. Look, I'm Alcyone. Ho, ho, ho. I am Miranda de Arcadia. Ho, ho, ho. Let me give you ideas about things. Ah, do you feel inspired yet?
That's my whole plan.
He'll do a flourish with his hands and look like himself again. Ta-da! Pity clap.
No, that's just
Never.
Write your letters.
What's his plan?
I'm sorry to do this to you, buddy.
No, it's okay. I just want to know what his plan is.
Oh, his plan is to, in turns, use his magic to get him there quicker, but to go to Barovia.
Has he been there before?
No.
By what apparatus?
He's going to fly a bit, teleport a bit, walk a bit.
Oh, okay. He's hoofing it as much as a wizard can.
Yeah.
He's gonna walk up to Ravenloft, see what happens.
Oh yeah, we have to tell you where to go.
All right.
And also what's waiting there.
We're gonna come back to that one.
That doesn't have to be.
That's fine.
The big, scary-looking castle,
You might just want to leave them somewhere really conspicuous and stop
and then
running
knock,
away.
and then go.
If they've got a front door, I'm set. These things make a great sound when you're knocking.
I'm more worried about what happens when someone opens the door.
Maybe just go.
Maybe
During
just
the day.
Yeah, slip it under the door,
Right.
maybe.
All right. Friendly mailman Adrastos at your service.
Perfect.
Well, this is perfect because we're going to find this drained husk at the drawbridge of Ravenloft, and then Hyros is going to be on Torik's side, and that'll become a mini
She
quest.
won't. She's a vegetarian.
I don't think that's
No.
true. She ate a lot of people, sorry. It's not my
Like the whole
fault.
town.
All right, well maybe you shouldn't go then. I don't know.
No, he's already gone.
He'll leave when everyone else does. Yeah, I don't need to play that out. I'm just throwing that out
Okay,
there
all
for
right.
shit.
Well, that's great to know. That's great to know.
Yeah, no, but that doesn't have to. That's not what I was hoping.
Slip them under the door and knock, and then just
I
go.
really can't stress now that we keep saying it out loud how fast you need to run away. It probably won't matter. She's extremely speedy.
All right,
Or
then
just
I'll,
say you're Hyros' son.
I'll vanish away. Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, maybe
Both.
lead with that.
It's not even a lie.
Don't lie to her.
She'll know.
She'll know.
She
That's
knows.
not a challenge.
Oh, is she a wizard too?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
She's not supposed to be alive anymore.
She's supposed to be in a pond.
Yeah. Rules,
Shut up!
rules is written. She got.
Not as long as I am in this chair. Okay. So, anything else in these pleasant days spent in luxury?
I just don't know what I want to do on the last night that we're there, so we'll say on the evening of the third night.
What do you got?
Alcyone will spend a lot of her time out in a little part of the woods that she discovered when she was younger. You know, the way when you're a kid and you find a part of the wood and you go, no one's ever been here before, I'm the only one who knows about anything related to this.
Mm-hmm.
A tree that has low branches, excellent for climbing, that she liked to hang out in as a kid. She's been spending a lot of time there.
I can relate.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, on last night, we're all, I assume we're hanging around, like, perhaps outside around our little fire
Well,
pit.
campfire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gather around the campfire.
Yeah.
Sing our campfire song.
Oh, I return at some point on ceremony, or not unceremoniously, but very
Casually.
low key. Yeah, you just hello.
I can check.
How was your journey?
I would not call it much of a journey. I sort of just appear there.
How's Warwick? Sorry.
He's fine. The students are doing well.
Oh, how is the boy?
He seems to be in good spirits. The work keeps him busy.
No.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if it worked any other way, I should say.
But he is progressing well from what he tells me.
Oh, good. He was very excited to, well, after his ordeal, to have some skills to back himself up next time. He says next time. I, of course, say there will not be one.
He managed to take down a cloaker the other day, is what the work tells me.
I don't know what that is, but that sounds impressive.
Neither do I. But it does sound impressive.
We can agree upon two things.
Dork only needed to intercede last minute.
Understandable. Doric is level 12. I mean, what? No, it's just...
Dork says hello as well.
Oh, to whom?
All of you.
Did he use those words?
Yes.
Is Kashek lying?
Insight!
23.
Oh
17.
ho. Fuck your high roll. I rolled really fucking well. 18, so you don't fucking know. He's paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Kashek may have had to prompt him.
It's alright, Kashek. We're playfully terrible to each other.
Before all of you leave, I do want to, well, I thought it's been a while since I played a song for you all, so I thought I might do that a little bit.
You guys stop doing this to
Bitches,
me.
they're trying to one-up each other, okay?
No. And, well,
I would like to have the boy on my lap.
He's a little restless, but once the music starts, he settles in.
this is not a usual campfire song, and usually in this instance I would not play it, but it is, or rather, it was at least, Alcyone's favorite when we were younger, which really should have given us an idea of her passions going forward, but take what you will. Of all the trees that grow so fair, old Wyvern Glen to adorn, greater are none beneath the sun than oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. You that is old in churchyard mould, he breedeth a mighty bow. Alder for shoes do wise men choose, and beech for cups also. But when you have killed and your bowl it is filled, and your shoes are clean outworn, back you must speed for all that you need to oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Oh, there's more verses, but you know, it's been a while since I have sung it.
Did you write that?
Oh, no, it's an old tune passed down through the village here. Yes, my mother's taught it to me, and I'm sure someone older, smaller, taught it to them as well. Well, you know.
Thanks, Dad. That was really nice. I do still love that one. I play it sometimes too.
Wow.
You'll have to forgive me. The mead, it just goes right to it.
The night carries on in a pleasant manner. Alcyone, at one moment, Rhea comes over and sort of settles next to you, maybe throws an arm over your shoulders. She comes down and sits next to you, and you know, everyone is having their merriments around the fire.
Sure.
And she speaks to you softly, but she turns to you and looks into your eyes and says, Alcyone, do you know what the curse of motherhood is?
Is it laundry?
No. That's not fun, but it is not the curse. The curse of motherhood is to know in your bones when something afflicts your child, but also know there is no world in which they will tell you what it is.
That sounds like a pretty rotten curse, if you ask me.
It is. You know, your mama has seen much of the world, and I can be an outlet for you if you need.
Yeah.
I know you are capable of fixing it on your own. But I am here for you.
I'm a grown woman, Mom, but thank you.
I know you are, but that does not mean
No,
you are
no,
not still my little
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, there it goes. There it is. It's just this one of these threads I'm chasing. It's just not. I've got hold of it, and every time I get hold of it, someone snips it, and it's just gone. And now I've just got to grab a hold of it again. It just keeps evading me. Something important, something big that I'm missing. That.
Is this something that you pursue for yourself?
Well, I do think it's a bit for me, sure, but with recent events, it seems a little more important as well.
You are your father's daughter.
It's strange because they look just like you.
Lucky you.
I could have gone with a beard, but yeah.
I think you could pull it off, yeah.
Thank you.
The world is not as simple as it once was, Alcyone. I think the time is coming for all of us to play our parts. And I know you will play yours splendidly.
Well, playing parts is the job, isn't it?
Just keep heart in where you come from. We are here for you, my love.
Thanks.
As much as it may bother you.
It doesn't bother me. I probably wanted to come back here more than anyone else. Be honest. Yeah.
Where will you go from here?
Definitely to Malorne, at least. There's information there, and that might be enough to point me where I need to go next.
This is wise, I think.
Yeah.
Well then. Enjoy the night. We set out on the morn.
We?
Oh, did I say we? Well, perchance, mayhaps, your father and I have some business there as well. Who is to say?
What business do you have in Malorne?
Your parents are still fully realized people, Alcyone. We don't stop existing just because we have children.
You lived in this town for, what, almost 30 years?
We built this town for 30 years.
Well, alright.
I'm fucking sick of it. I need to
Have you seen the people?
Oh, they're so short.
Never you mind.
Alright. I know you're more than capable. I just worry about that.
The big softy. He will be okay.
You're worried about him.
Well, if the rumors are true, I technically lost him once.
Well, they say lightning doesn't strike the same place twice. Maybe he's set then.
I can only hope. Although, he and all of these friends of his, they have a way of finding themselves right into the heart of the storm.
Yeah, got myself pulled in, thought I was done with that, but, no. Messy.
It does not do well for a mother's heart to hear these things.
No, I suppose not. Sorry, Mom.
Now, enjoy your night.
Yeah, you as well.
Yes.
Yeah, no, sorry, that's it. Precise didn't say when she was coming back home, did she?
I don't believe she mentioned, no.
Nah, she wouldn't. That's alright.
Why do you ask?
Despite her best efforts, she can be helpful at times. But,
That's certainly true.
well, next time I see her then. Thanks, Mom. Just, mead and all that, yeah.
And she looks at you and you kind of see Just a whole parade of emotions go across her face before she just gently reaches out and puts a hand to the side of your face and gives you a kiss on the forehead.
Yeah. I'll take her hand before she goes. It'll be alright.
Yeah. And she gets up and goes.
Lightning never strikes twice. Sure, it fucking does.
Anything else for the night?
Just observing. Pointedly.
So you spend one more evening around the campfire with music and delicious mead.
Adrastus will lead a few sea shanties that only he knows. He tried to teach you some of them during your trip to...
But he keeps changing the verses on purpose, so
Yep.
it looks like we don't know what we're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I know the rule.
Yep.
But eventually the night does come to a close. You spend one more night in very, very, very comfy beds on the hearth. And then morning comes. What would you like to do?
Asani will head downstairs early,
Mm-hmm.
as has been the case. Before anybody else, before even Hyros. And she'll start making breakfast.
Oh, okay. You do so.
Yeah.
We'll go down a little
Yeah,
while
same.
later.
You come down to the now familiar pleasant smells of cooking. But you don't find Hyros in the kitchen, much to your surprise. You found Alcyone.
Good morning.
I'm afraid I'm not as daft a hand as Dad at these things, but that'll do, and I figure he's probably got a lot to sleep off. I heard him snoring like an absolute. There are no vehicles I can reference. Like an elephant.
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't
We
know what that is.
shared a room with him for a month.
Wow.
I'm used to snoring.
And do you live?
Do I snore?
No.
Oh, all right.
I'm just saying that you have a monastery full of people who all sleep in the same chambers. It's bound to happen with a few of them.
Shouldn't your breathing exercises take care of that?
Well, I don't need to sleep, so the point's kind of moot anyway.
Well, for them at least. Anyway, breakfast. I didn't make one honkin' omelet. I thought it'd make more sense to just do ones for people individually.
Thank
Anything special on yours? I like mine with berries in it. I know it's fucking weird.
That's alright, you are weird.
Berries in an omelet?
Yeah.
Giddy up.
Well, that's the Alcyone special, so if you don't want that, then by all means.
I'll take
No,
anything
thank you.
that's not me cooking. I'm dreadful at it.
Fair enough. Guess Hyros eventually come down. Oh, I thought I smelled fantastic cooking, so I waited to see if it was a dream, and then it wasn't. This is wonderful. This is wonderful so much. And he sits at the table, just sort of ready.
His fork and knife.
Yes.
Napkin tucked in.
Yeah, Dad, thought I'd give you a break for morning sent off and all that. I hear you and Mom have an intention to come with us.
Oh?
I don't know where you'd get that idea. I'm just here for the omelets.
Oh?
Again, I don't know where she gets that idea. I'm here for the omelets.
Well, where did you get that idea, Alcyone?
I don't know, Mom said a thing last night. We'll see if she gets down here what happens.
Alright.
And eventually, floating down the staircase as she does, like a Luna moth,
Yeah.
Rhea does join the table. Did everyone sleep well? Is today the day we are to be bereft of you? It's come at last.
Yes, it's been a lovely stopover. Thanks for hosting us all. Having my friends over for a sleepover.
I know you all have very important business to be about. We would not want to hold you from it, at least not for too long.
No, I don't wonder what trouble the Republic's gotten itself into while we were... It's only 3 days. Well, we were in Veradine for 2 days.
We've been away from the capital for a long time.
True, I just mean generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
They functioned without us before.
We fixed the blight.
We fixed the blight.
We did.
No more exploding cows. Except when people make them do it on purpose.
There's more to be done in the plains.
So, you all enjoy a lovely breakfast. The way to Malorne from here is not too complicated. I wish you to travel it well.
Great, yeah.
I'm just kind of looking outside.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, what's happening?
What? We'll take the road once we get out to it. It's faster by road than river, yeah, I imagine?
Yeah, I think it would be.
Alright.
We've got our horses.
We've got our horses. Perfect.
I will hand Adrestus a clumsily sealed envelope with the letter that I
Yes.
messaged to you.
This is hardly safe from tampering, you know.
There's almost nothing in it that would be worth tampering anyway. You can imagine the kind of raconteur I am.
Takes a thumb and smooths it over it, and suddenly it's sealed.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You didn't change any of the text while you did that, did you?
No, but now that you say that... Nah.
Nice.
I already gave you a mention.
Oh, in there?
Yes.
Oh, so this person doesn't, rip my throat out? That's what you're worried about?
Yeah, hopefully
Well,
she reads
yeah.
it before she sees him.
That's gonna be tough.
Yeah, right.
No, I just
Here's mine.
apologized.
I am holding it. Oh, there we go.
Just apologized in advance.
Wow.
For Adrestus. Yeah, good plan.
My own adoptive cousin. Well, he's sort of like kitted out. He's finally put a shirt on. He's like, well, great. So I'll tuck that with my things, and then I'll get on the way to Barovia. I get to visit my first time there. Pretty exciting.
You should try the wolf.
Like to eat?
Yes.
Don't they usually do, the eating, the wolves?
Well, yes.
Yes.
Fuck, alright, weird place. Well then, I'll do your little delivery service for you. I'll let you know when it's been sent off just fine.
That
Thank
would
you.
be very comforting.
Yes.
I just saw you have an entire panic attack in 1 second.
They come as quickly as they go.
Time's nothing to enough, am I right?
I have no idea.
Tasty! Alright, off I go. And then
Bye.
he twists his hand in midair on nothing. And just sort of what sounds like a storm at sea comes through a door and it closes behind him and it's no door. It's gone.
The drama with this one.
He's got his style.
That's what I said.
I told him he should have tried to take up theater, but
Honestly.
he always just laughed. He never actually answered. He just laughed.
Yeah.
That might have been a yes.
As breakfast is finishing up and, the sort of packing up starts to get on the road, Rhea looks to Hyros. The birds are all leaving the nest, husband. Times for decisions are drawing close.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a very small vacation. At least. See how we feel. I've never been to Malorne.
I've been that way several times before. And I have my own part to play in the coming days.
You were very cryptic, my love.
You like it that way, don't you?
I do. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about half the time. Oh, sorry. I have no idea what you're talking about half the time.
That's
Hyros
not
can't
what-
legally say fuck.
I trust you to see the baby's first flight away from the nest safely through.
You sure? I mean, you would probably get more use out of the Malorne than I. I know they've got books, lots of books.
I have too many already. You could do with a few more, I'm thinking.
I am a simple man. Perhaps I could do with a book or two. Lots of pictures. Well then, my dear, I will prepare a few things. And he goes up to the room.
So you're coming with us, Hyros?
Yes! At least for a little while, I'm going to come with you. If that is alright. If you will have a, what did they say? Old fuddy-duddy like myself?
Yes!
Perfect then.
What will you do, right?
Well, I have been back home to Roos for quite a while now, and I again begin to feel the itch of adventure call my name.
She is very itchy.
Thank you, husband. But do not fret. I do not think it will be so long again before we all see each other. And remember, you always have a home here under the boughs.
Yeah.
We can always get in. Adrastos has some uses. He has magic to place up a little bit, so that we don't need keys, but other people can't break in. Except for our grandmothers, but nothing can stop them, unfortunately.
Yeah, well.
I would never try.
No. Death awaits the first one to attempt it. Hearth will come back down within a few minutes. Looking, perhaps to your two eyes, almost hopefully like he did when you first met him on the road, traveling with his bag and his big old chopping axe across his back. Very few differences about him since you first met him. Only if you look closely, there's the one eye a little bit different. Same old Hyros.
I just can't stop smiling.
Good luck on the road, my loves. She looks to Kashek. Remember the love we have found here. As she looks to Surrie. Remember the words we have shared here. And I wish you all the very best of luck.
Safe travels as well.
Thank you.
Give her
My
a hug.
gizzard feels all fuzzy.
Aww. Is that a good
Are
feeling?
you feeling well?
That is how.
Get a napkin.
That's how the owl
That's
do.
alright, get it all out.
Thanks, I'm getting used to.
I'll give Ray a hug.
She gives you fully embracing you warmly in return.
I will send you my letters, my love, and you will get them this time.
I had better.
It wasn't my fault, you know.
Aye.
And Hyros will embrace her and give her a good old kiss.
She holds you tightly, and even when you try to let go, she holds on for just a breath longer.
He knows.
And then you separate.
Now sign up, go up and give her a hug. Well, you be careful out there, Mum. It's, well, what am I saying? You're more skilled than any of us.
I've learned a few things here and there.
Mm.
You're more skilled than you know, sweet daughter.
Yeah, maybe.
Humility is your finest quality.
Well, I learned it at your knee.
That was like a delayed reaction. Before she leaves,
Mm-hmm.
I have this little stone that the lad gave me.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out my luck stone.
Mm-hmm.
I've held on to this for a very long time. It's been very useful. But I think I've got another one now. And there's hardly any purpose for me having two. So, I think, if you would like to hold on to that for me, it would do you well.
A kingly gift, Seren. Thank you very much. I will keep it close. This has been a time out of place these past few days. I will remember it on the long road. Carry it like a torch. Thank you all. There is a long road that stretches out before all of you. May it rise to meet your feet.
Safe travels, Mama.
Safe travels, my love.
Well, come. We should not keep the road waiting. It is rude, you know.
Alright, let's go.
Making your way.
Oh,
Out of town.
Okay.
Bastards of Barovia back at 75%.
SOBs!
Bastards of Barovia, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, without work, that's what we are.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the stew is not in steward.
It's true.
You're gonna be two people.
It can be
See what
done.
happens. Okay.
Oh my god.
You set out on the road. On the road again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
After troll concerts and lovely riverfront vacations.
Yeah.
It's a couple of days to Malorne. Traveling along, there are some pretty clear-cut roads through the forests, but all the roads are pretty narrow as you make your way. After 3-4 days travel time, you probably didn't see anyone for at least 2 days of that traveling, leaving Wyvern Glen. But on the last day, the road starts to widen and become more populated. And you're seeing more elves than you've ever seen in one place before. Some of them moving along the road in these wagons drawn by these huge stags with these antlers that kind of splay out in all directions.
Lee Pace riding an elk.
Every once in a while you see darting across tree branches over the crisscrossing back and forth across the road high above you. Groups of 4 or 5 elves kind of just darting their way through the treetops. Activity just starts to pick up.
My mask and hood are like plastered.
Oh, okay. All right. And before too long, you start seeing not buildings, but carved into the trunks of these massive trees. As you move closer and closer through the forest, the trees grow taller, wider, and grander. Think of like the redwood forests out in California.
Mm-hmm.
And you start to see not buildings, but carved into the trunks of these massive trees. You start to see doors opening into domiciles within, with windows and trappings all about the front, just molded into the trees themselves. And before too long, you begin to find yourself. It's sort of like, it's funny, it's not like coming into cities you've experienced before, you know? Like, it's not like you cross over a line and suddenly there are skyscrapers and you're in the city. It just sort of, the transition is just a blend.
Mm-hmm.
And you just suddenly find yourselves in Malorne with people busying about between the trunks of the trees. It's not like any cities you've seen before. There are no central causeways. There's no sort of like central gathering point. It's just all of these, some of them, you know, like multi-tiers, multi-stories going up the sides of these trees, carved into the very trunks themselves. A couple here and there, like a couple of sort of like log piled buildings. But mostly the domiciles and buildings here are carved into the hearts of the trees themselves. And high above your head, you see these rope bridges spanning between the sort of upper reaches of the trees, and people busying themselves both on the upper causeways and on the causeways below. It's mostly elves, though there are still some humans and dwarves as well. But everyone here, it's... If you could have blinked and missed it, it's a perfect blending of the natural world and this sort of metropolis style. There's lots of people going about their business, but it seems very purposefully this place has been put inside of nature rather than nature being cleared away to make place for civilization.
If the road was very busy, I would maybe have been keeping a shorter metaphorical leash on the boy, but otherwise he's kind of free to roam.
Yeah, he seems entranced by this place. He keeps looking up at the massive trees around, maybe perhaps bumping into a leg or the side of a building as he gazes up at the rope bridges above you.
Careful where you're going.
But it's quite a sight, and it's hard to, it's not like, in the city here you can gaze down the street and, just see till the other side of the city. But here, the trees still kind of close in around you, and it feels not claustrophobic, but comfortable and homey as the trunks of the trees close in around you.
Wow. Only a few days away from my home, and this place is beautiful.
I agree.
Yeah.
That is very high up. Fascinating. I kind of feel bad for ever felling a tree to look at these trees. You know?
They'll grow.
That's true. We always plant trees after we fell them. It's important to do.
That's the nature of things.
There's lots of people milling about. Many of them are dressed very plainly. Some of them, maybe you see a hunter with a deer kind of slung over his shoulders, carrying it into town. There's people haggling over furs, and there's sort of a market area. All the trappings that you would find, they're just sort of like, kind of have to move through a maze here. But one thing that you do notice as you move through, carved into the side of one of the buildings, as if, like with a knife into the bark of the tree, you start to see, as you begin to move past the limits into the city proper, you see this same phrase repeated, carved into the sides of buildings. Maith Lane saves.
I'm sure that is friendly.
You are, as best you can tell, arrived in the city. What would you like to do?
What are we looking for here?
We are looking for anyone who can give us information about a temple that some people seem to think does not exist.
There's a place of knowledge here. Unless I'm much mistaken, that's the way we were directed here.
Right.
Just gotta find out.
I was hoping to see if there was any word from the capital, but with all of this unrest, I'm wondering if we don't want to immediately walk in and ask about people that might not be very popular.
That's not a bad line of thought. Well, we still should try to find the place, a library we're looking for? Is that right?
So, the reason that you were traveling to Malorne in the first place was because that was Bernard's task for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He is interested in gathering more information about the Tower of Stars. This monolithic elven ruin at the heart of the capital city, Arcadia itself. It dwells at the heart of the entire Republic, and yet no one really knows what it is. Miranda de Arcadia sort of just built the foundations of the city around it to start. But in all our years of history, no one has ever really figured out exactly what it is. And Bernard believes that finding out more about it may help secure the safety of the Republic in the future. So he has sent you here to try to find out a little bit more about it. He pointed you in the direction of the Scholar's Lodge because Malorne is sort of the central hub of elven knowledge and learning in the Republic. There may be those who may be able to illuminate a little bit further than his own research has been able to provide. So that is the original intent of sending you here.
But we're also looking for information on the Temple of Cairnanos, yeah?
Well, he said that may have been the place where, because it's an ancient elven ruin, that might be the place where information about the Tower of Stars could be found.
So we need someone to point us in that direction.
Because we don't know where that is.
Right.
Correct!
Yeah, ostensibly nobody knows where it is.
Right.
But if anybody does, it will be here in Malorne.
Mm-hmm.
So, all that being said, you find yourselves in the city. Mostly elves, but, again, the Republic is a pretty diverse place, except for Trevor.
For whatever
to say Traven.
So whatever social commentary that might be worth.
But yes, what would you like to do?
It seems like a first point of business would be to find some place to stay. Does that seem like an awful idea?
No.
All right.
Seems like a good one.
Quite agreed. I don't speak Elven, so I don't know if... I mean, they've got to have plenty of common.
Me neither, but
This
I don't
place
know
is
if
technically...
you necessarily want me to be the face here. I do speak Elven, so if anyone is trying to, I don't know, overcharge us for something, I'll be useful.
Great. Are there any signs around the place?
It's incredibly unhelpfulully unmarked.
Sure,
It's just a bunch of trees
yeah,
that
trees.
people are walking in and out of.
Great. Fuck,
They got that old European city layout where they're like, the goat path went this way once.
And they just, you get the sense they put their buildings in the trees that were here.
Is there any place where more people are coming in and out of than... Like, where are the
there's a bunch of people, as you're standing here in this sort of causeway, there's dozens of people walking to either side.
I accost the nearest stranger.
What do you say?
Good day.
Suck laughing.
Okay, what did he say? I will listen.
How do you do?
He said good morning. Ask him if he speaks
They
common.
just look there.
Ask him if he speaks
a little
common.
confused.
Where might we find the nearest? What did you call it?
Inn.
Tavern.
Tavern. Either one of those.
I thought.
Ask him for, and then I'll say the word in Elvish.
You're translating.
I'm trying to do it surreptitiously.
But how can I ask him? I guess he might have understood me.
Right, yeah, he did, clearly.
Then why did he respond in Elven?
He might not know how to speak. He can only hear.
I can understand common.
Can I help you with something?
Oh, shit.
Where is the nearest inn?
Someplace to rest your feet, you're looking for.
Yes.
Well, for my money, best place in town, Winky Weasels.
I fucking love this place!
I love the sound of that.
Ask for Muma's famous mead. It'll knock your socks right off if they aren't already.
I love their mead.
A man of culture, I see.
Yes, that's me.
Very good.
That's my dad.
Yeah, Winky Weasels, owned by Mumas himself. Just
Sorry.
This is so good.
Hi, Muma.
Sorry, please continue giving directions. Those are more important right now.
I'm so glad you're traveling with us, Iris.
Yeah, me too. I get to meet Mumas.
Uh,
Maybe.
just
Be cool.
head about that way 50 paces. When you find the red ash, take a left.
Oh! Yes, we can do that. Thank you so much, my friend.
Welcome to Malorne, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
You're a kind one.
And he kind of gives a little salute and carries on.
Kushek, you did very well.
Did I?
Yes.
I could not understand him at first.
That's alright.
It scared me.
I thought he only spoke
You did
Elvish.
look
You
spooked.
really had me spooked. You getting spooked made me spooked.
Like a horse.
How's Weird Horse been, Alcyone?
Oh, where are the horses? Do you still have you rode them?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, giddy up.
Yeah!
There he is.
That's better. Sounded almost like a horse for a second, you weirdo. Give a slap on his haunch.
Skinner.
Careful now.
Are you traveling in the direction of the inn? Is that where you're going?
He's using his, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We're going.
He's using his
Well,
walking
Hyros
stick.
is the one that knows trees.
What's the light like today?
It's quite a sunny day, but the forest above is so thick that only sort of strands of sunlight make their way to where you are
Oh,
currently.
Count
Hell
Strand?
yes.
Oh.
Why do you wear your hood when the sun is not so bright?
That is a longer story that I can make very short, but the effect will be somewhat lost.
Then by all means, do not shorten it.
Elves.
I said do not shorten it.
I'm working on making it longer, but you kind of cut me off there.
Oh, I thought you were doing it later. My mistake.
No. Just as I have to assume there are different kinds of your people, there are different kinds of my people, and some of us, or so it has been explained to me, do not get along very well. Is the short version.
How would they know if they will not get along with you? They do not know you.
Notice what everyone else here looks like, and then do carefully observe me.
Sen, there is nothing wrong with being short. I am quite short.
In fact, you're taller
So
than
is
two of us.
Ulrich.
She actually does laugh a little
Every one of us is short except Hyros.
And
This is
Alcyone.
true.
And I was
You're
like,
the same height.
I'm average-ish.
Alright. That's truly a lovely sentiment. I just mean that a very long time ago, when our people were coming into existence as we are right now,
A long time ago.
a very long time ago, there was a bit of a schism that formed, shall we say, between two groups. And I belong to one, and they belong to the other, and some people will hold a grudge. I'm easily identifiable. I don't know if that's the case, but as I'm traveling with the rest of you, I think it might be better to be safe than sorry.
Seren, do you think you are ugly?
I don't think I'm anything.
Because you're not.
Thank you.
What? Sorry, if you're still doing.
I don't think that's applicable here, but thank you, Kashek.
Thank you. Maybe it's both.
Great, now I'm so pumped about that! What, like, just wandering around, what is the population, clientele around Malorne here?
How do you mean?
What are we looking at? What elves? High
Mostly
elves?
elves, yeah. Elves of every flavor.
Okay. But mostly just elves, not a lot of anything else?
Yeah, mostly elves. There are still humans and dwarves and the things that do regularly find, but primarily an elven place.
When you say all kinds of elves,
To include dark elves?
No.
okay,
No,
that was going to
that's
be
what I
really
figured.
funny.
I'm just confused because there are a
That's-
few over there.
What the fuck? Immediately over.
No. In fact, walking around down here at the bases of the trees, it is actually mostly high elves that you see. Looking up at the rope bridges, you see a lot of wood elves
Or woody complexion?
skipping their way
Sure.
amongst the boughs.
Sure.
But yeah, it's a healthy mix of elven kind here.
Alright.
But no, you do not see any drow.
Listen, I've only been part of society at large for, I mean, it's about as long as you have, but I think that if people get to know you, they will find out that you're a lovely person, and it'll be alright.
I understand that. I'm more concerned that I'm going to cause problems for the rest of you. I don't really care what they think about me. I know me.
Right,
Thank you.
but I don't think it will be a problem.
You were traveling with friends.
I wish I could share your optimism. So maybe I will.
That's what wishing is.
Right. It just makes me feel a bit... You know how I feel about people looking at me regardless. Like, just keep it on for a while. If
And
it
that's
ends up
alright too.
to not be a problem, then it won't be a problem.
You're just very pretty, Seren. What can they say?
Thank you. Thank you. Stop deceiving me.
Sarah, you do find as you move through the city, though, many of the elven folk take a much more interested notice in the little guy than you have found in other cities. They all seem to have some sort of appreciation for
Oh, cool.
how hard it is to have a tamed owl bear.
Tamed is a really generous word here.
Well, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's sort of like when you take a new puppy for a walk out on the street. Just
Yeah.
every 10 feet or so, somebody stops you and be like, "Oh my goodness, he's so cute."
Yeah, he is. Notice him. Not me. It's me stopping someone because of their puppy.
Starting your
Oh
baby.
my god, you must have got him so young. How did you train him?
Honestly, he found me.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Well, they can be proper vicious when they grow up, but if you catch them early enough, they're true friends for life.
Here's hoping it's the second one.
Oh, any luck to you.
Thank you.
And much the same as you carry on through the city.
Oh, very friendly folk here. I can feel your tension.
I'm trying a new thing. I'm trying to be relaxed and optimistic.
Oh,
I don't know if my body is really used to it. I think it will take some practice. That's all.
I believe in you. You can do it.
Okay.
So you make your way. Roughly 50 paces, you see an ash tree with red leaves as if it is the middle of autumn. Settled around it seems to be sort of a little moat of fresh spring water, at the bottom of which are settled many coins you can see, sort of settled at the bottom of this little moat around a red-leaved ash tree. And you take a left, and eventually you do see another one of these sort of tree buildings with the rough approximation of a weasel carved into the bark above the door.
Gotta recarve it every decade or so.
Yeah,
Grows
right.
back
It
over
grows
again.
over.
Yes.
That looks charming.
Yes?
We're going to go into a tavern again. No, it's just... Let's go. I don't want to overhype the event.
Let's go, let's go.
Go.
So you walk in. It is very cozy inside. When you walk in, it's almost sort of like a little bubble. The ceiling is a perfect dome, which does not come to a hard edge of the floor, but rather curves into it. And
Like
the
a bowl.
entire it's like a bowl. It's like someone took an ice cream scoop to the center of a tree.
Cool.
Yes.
As you walk in. Surprisingly, there still are multiple sort of hearth fires going throughout the place. The entire floor is blanketed in these really thick, lovely rugs that look you could curl right up on one and take a nap. There are multiple patrons inside the bar, all eating and drinking and having a lovely old time. To the side, what looks like some pixies playing tiny, minute instruments pluck away,
Pixies?
filling the air with a pleasant sound as you make your way inside.
I did not overhype it. This is amazing.
So charming.
Those are quite good. I mean, the music's very... You gotta listen for it, but I like it.
It's not
It's very
overbearing.
subtle, yeah. Just sort of fills your mind. What would you like to do?
Find a table
Uh,
or something.
Should we?
Yeah, does this look like a tavern as well as an inn, or does it just look like a...
As they all are, yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah. Your fantasy fair.
Yep, your fantasy fair, yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough.
There does seem to be sort of a bar area with sort of a comically large bell sat in the center of the sort of long plank of wood.
I will ask first.
The bell?
Yes. Because that looks like it wants to be rung.
I'm gonna approach the bar. Harris and Asani both gonna approach the bar.
You do so.
Is there anyone there?
No one behind the bar as elf present.
Strange. Let's find somewhere else then. Where's the person who works here? Is there someone who works here? Do we sit down?
I've never been here.
I think that
Rose.
might be what the bell would be for.
Do you not want to ring it?
Well,
Kashyap will.
if you insist, I must ring it.
You ring the bell.
I would like to.
And as you lightly tap the top of the bell, it rings out harmoniously and pleasantly through the air of the tavern. Looking at it, a little head and 4 little feet
Oh my god!
come out of it as this little turtle fella pokes his way as the bell that is his shell kind of rings.
I
through.
love you!
And he just sort of looks up at you with his tiny little beady black eyes, and his turtly little beak seems to curl into a bit of a smile.
I didn't mean to wake you, my friend.
Oh my god!
Through a curtain behind the bar comes this cheery-looking furbolg in these fine green satin robes. He's got his arms tucked into the sleeves as he makes his way through. He makes his way up to you, Hyros and Alcyone.
I want to be up there with them.
Obviously, you join them at the bar.
Yeah, I want him too.
The turtle just kind of begins making his way down the side of the bar as the furbolg comes out, pulling his hands out of his fine robed sleeves and kind of throwing them wide. Welcome to Winky Weasels. First time here?
Yes.
My name is Muma Saul. Please, if there is anything I can do to make your time here more comfortable, do not hesitate to ask.
Okay.
Can I offer you some of our world-famous Muma's mead?
Yes, that'd be
That'd
lovely.
be lovely, thank you.
It's all right, Dad.
That'd be great, Mr. Wumas.
Oh, most excellent. Please find a seat anywhere that suits your comfortability, and I shall bring it out post-haste.
Thank you.
Anything else I can get for you for the time being?
That's great.
Are you okay, fair traveler?
It is an honor to meet you, Mr. Saul. I have long been a fan of your mead, I want to say.
That warms my very heart.
No.
Thank you so much. I shall bring a cup to you post-haste on the house.
Oh my goodness, that is so kind. Great. I need to sit down. I think I need to sit down. Thank you,
Come on,
sir.
Iris.
Please do enjoy yourself.
Alcyone kind of guides him to a table to sit down there.
So you kind of take a seat, and after a few minutes, you begin to hear this sort of plodding sound, and a huge tortoise with sort of a tea tray set up on its back begins to come over.
Oh my God.
With these sort of like richly green bottles on the sitting on top of the tray, and Muma is kind of like making his way, not bothered at all, at the same pace the tortoise is going, and makes his way over to your table.
I love it here.
And picks up one of the bottles and, with a very pleasant sound, uncorks one and takes a few goblets off of the tray carried by the tortoise, setting one in each in front of you, and pours it, kind of like cater waiter style, into each of your mugs. Please do enjoy. This particular vintage was bottled just 3 years ago in our very own in-house storeroom.
Wow. Thank you, sir. I can't wait.
If it would not be too much trouble, would we be able to get rooms for the night here or anywhere else as well?
But of course, we are very proud to offer accommodations to all newcomers to our fair city.
Thank you. How many then? Kashek, will you be sleeping inside or outside?
Outside.
3?
3?
3 rooms to let, that makes things very simple. Yes, but of course, just a gold piece of night.
I'll cover it.
Thank you, sir. Truly, we were told this would be a place for newcomers, and you've made us feel very welcome already.
Well, just you remember, Wittenky Weasel's the best place to while away the hours.
If I could take just another moment of your time, Mr. Saul.
Anything for a fan.
Yes, I was rather raised on your meat. My father here never stops talking about it. But I was curious. We're looking for learning in town. I was wondering if the Scholars Lodge. We're not used to navigating this particular city, so directions perhaps.
Oh, well, I'm more than happy to guide you there, but upon finding it, you won't find it in its usual accommodating manner, I'm afraid. Bit of dark days over for the learned ones. They are mourning the loss of one of their most esteemed scholars.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that.
We all are.
If you don't mind us asking what happened, just so, should we inquire, we don't ask anything disrespectfully.
I'm afraid I don't know all the details. You'd have to ask them to find out more. But they're all quite in a tizzy, is my understanding. Tried to offer them some of my fine mead to calm their spirits, but they were not very receptive.
Mm-hmm. That's unfortunate.
Must be a true shock for them.
Pardon me, I don't mean to be presumptuous, but you all look like rather competent adventurers.
Oh, yes, we travel here and there, yes.
Is the Scholars Lodge your only business in the city?
If I can confess something to you, business usually seems to find us.
If I can confess something to you, I may have a bit more for you.
Whatever you need.
You're very kind. As I take it, you're quite fond of my mead, yes?
Endlessly.
Well, I hope it doesn't come as too much of a blow to hear that what you sip upon now is some of the last bottles in our reserve.
Oh, we've been here before.
What do I have to do? How many seeds must I get? How many witches?
We have to go clear the
How
druids
many
out.
dinners must I get?
I don't care.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Just
You see, the secret to Muma Saul's mead is Muma Saul's bees. They produce the finest honey on the continent. So fine, in fact, it's drawn the attention of the great white grizzly stag.
Oh.
the what?
The great white grizzly stag.
I thought he was pretty clear the first time.
Right, that was more
What?
What?
I'll kind of like lift little man up. Look like this, maybe? Can you give us a bit of a description?
You put the baby?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't he a cute one?
Yes.
No, nothing like that. No, the great white grizzly stag was thought to be something of a myth around these parts. That is, of course, until he started attacking my beehives.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you know where he comes from? Or,
Deep in the forest, so as I had imagined, but it is strange days, these. If he's come this close to the city, there must be something causing an awful ruckus in the forest to drive the great white grizzly stag so far out.
is this great white grizzly stag?
I don't think you're saying it.
Grizzly stag.
Yes,
It was great! Grizzly and white!
You mentioned that it was uncertain to have been a real creature in the first place.
Oh, yes. Something of a folk tale before, something to keep the children in after dark. But it is very real, and it is having a very real impact on my honeycombs, you see.
You've seen it?
I have myself. I haven't been back to my beehives since. If you are apt adventurers and could see to maybe driving off the great white grizzly stag, I could resume production of my most famous meads.
We will rescue your bees.
We don't need to.
All right.
We don't need it harmed, do we? We just need to scare
Oh,
off.
no, of course I would not wish any harm to come to the beast. I just need him to be in a different place. If I could, I'd let him take a beehive home with him, but sadly he's proven difficult to communicate with.
We will save your bees.
Yes, we will.
Well,
Yes.
that would be most kind of you, and certainly take a bit of thorn out of my paw.
We can certainly make that on the top of our list of priorities, Mr. Saul.
You're very kind. Well, I don't mean to stay in the way of your adventuring ways any longer, but if you are setting out into the forest, maybe take a stop by my beehive. Investigate what the great white grizzly stag is up to these days.
Certainly.
We'll see what we can learn.
You're very kind. Well, I'll leave you to it then. Enjoy the bee.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Doing all right?
I never thought I would meet the maker of the greatest drink the world has ever possessed.
You've met the Molokovs already.
Theirs is the best in Barovia. But this mead, I grew up with this mead. This is the first drink each of my children had when they were old enough.
When they were, Rhea wasn't watching.
This is a drink that has been with me all my life. And this is a man who has brought nothing but good and joy into, at the very least, my life. Think of the countless others who have had this mead in their lives. We cannot deprive them of such joyous memories and times.
No, we'll find the
And
stag.
the bees.
I
Yes, it is very unfortunate for the bees. They're in a lot of danger.
They are in danger.
know. We'll sort it out.
Let's rescue the bees.
We will.
All right.
I'm very glad you came with us, Harry.
I am too. Oh, sorry. Sorry, this was more than I had.
That's all right.
We must go learn of the futility of man's struggle against nature.
Well, are we dealing with
Let's
this
just walk her.
great white grizzly stag thing today, or are we going to go interrupt a professor funeral?
Well, if they're not going to let us in, it might not do us horrible to stop by there, see if we can get any information from them on what's happening, and if they intend to open again,
Yeah.
and then go to the bees.
Perhaps they'll have some knowledge about what's going on in the forest that's got the wildlife riled up.
I mean, gods be good, they might be even connected.
Could be.
2 birds and all that.
You think 2 birds are behind this?
We did.
Seren, even I know that one.
I'll save that one.
So, you sip your mead. What would you like to do?
What time have we arrived in Malorne
Oh, that's
today?
a great question. We will say it's about midday as you arrive here at the tavern.
So, here's what I propose. Perhaps we see if we can have a look in on the
Scholar's Lodge.
Scholars Lodge, right there.
Kind of rhymes.
Scholars Lodge. Stop by there, see what they can or can't tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Make way to the bees, investigate the bees.
Yes.
If the day is still young enough, perhaps we venture out. But if not, we come back here, venture out in the morning. Reasonable?
Sounds
a
good to
solid
me.
plan.
We have to save the mead, friends.
Hyros, we're going to. We are.
Oh.
There's just.
Save the bees!
Let's do what we have to do in town first,
Yes.
and then we'll work our way. To
Of
that.
course. We are here for you and your important things you must do as heroes and such.
Well, yes, but you're here too.
I'm here on vacation,
Well,
But this
then
became
do
very
not want to-
serious.
Okay.
but also very joyous. I'm feeling a lot of things right now.
All right.
And I am a large man, room for many feelings. But still, these are a lot of feelings.
That's your blood pressure.
I think one of these bottles must be mine.
Yeah. All right. Well, you don't have to come with us to do everything.
You are on vacation after all.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you, if you decide you're going out into the woods after you consult with the 2 things, maybe I'll wait here.
Make sure the accommodations are all to everyone's liking.
Of course, and, perhaps I can pick Mr. Saul's brain about a thing or 2. If he's not too busy, I wouldn't interrupt such genius, of course.
All right. Yeah, we'll come get you before we go into the woods.
Sure, or if you come back here for the evening, then we are back here for the evening.
Yes.
I think it is perfect. Is it perfect?
Yes.
You seem very nervous.
I didn't think I was going to meet. This is the weasel. I didn't know he was going to.
It's a big day for you.
It's a lot at once. Oh, goodness me.
All right.
It's all right. I'm going to sit here and keep the mead company.
Yes. You relax.
Have
We'll
fun.
see you soon.
Thank you. Yes, I'll also sample the food and tell you what's good on the menu.
Yes.
It will likely be even better than what you had at my house.
How do you feel, Kashak?
Sakrin?
Who's heading to the Scholar's Lodge?
Me.
I'll come.
Our
We'll leave it higher.
adversaries
Everyone
today.
but Hyros.
Yes.
Okay, great.
If that's all right.
Oh,
Yeah,
I will be all right. I need
All
to get it's. I have not traveled in a few months, and so it's good. It's good. I need to get my feet under me
All right.
here in the tavern.
Yes. All right. We'll see you soon then.
Yeah, don't drink all that while you're here, Dad. Save some for us, please.
You can do what you want.
It's good meat. It's good meat. Very good meat.
You
It's
don't,
the best
have
meat.
to, you don't have to listen to her. You're her dad.
She's her own person. We're out in the world. This is your journey.
Yeah, but you don't have to listen to her. Is all I'm saying.
Resistance.
Yeah.
He's gonna need it.
Very kind. So, you head
he's a
out of
barbarian.
Winky Weasel. As you make your way back out, this time approaching the door from the inside, you can't help but notice a coat rack rising out of the shell of a tortoise standing by the door. And make your way back out onto the street outside.
You're doing a great job. Look at you.
So you head back out onto the street outside of Winky Weasel's. What would you like to do?
Do we know where we're going?
You know, the thing is, he said he could point us in the direction of the lodge, so...
And then didn't?
Well, maybe he did, though, and
I think I seem to remember him pointing us
maybe
in the
he
direction.
just did do that.
I'm pretty sure he did. You know
Maybe
what? Now
he
I
did.
remember.
Yes.
Now I remember. I had a cup of mead, but yeah, that
He
happened.
said he could.
That happened.
You get from Muma Saul. Oh, to get to the Scholar's Lodge, just take 4 lefts through the pines and then a right at the vines.
That was
Got it.
just lovely.
Endlessly charming.
Mm-hmm.
You do see a sort of thicket of pine trees off to one side.
So there we go.
Well, you kind of first.
Good
I
one.
hate him.
Yeah. Spend too much time with the Drasters.
Oh, yeah.
I hope he's not
He hasn't even gotten to Barovia yet, don't
true.
worry.
So, making your way further through the city. Lord knows if you'll be able to find your way back through this city. But you make your way through the pines, and then you do see sort of like a long garden wall with vines running across it. And following it, you come to another tree. This one, as the trunk comes down, it sort of balloons out at the bottom to form a sort of austere building. And you can see many robed figures kind of occasionally moving in and out of the front door. Also, along the facade of this building, you see written all across this graffiti, for lack of a better word, Maith Lane saves all across it. And you see one individual running their hands alongside the bark of the tree, their hands glowing slightly with a sort of yellowish aura. And you can see it as they run their hands over the bark of the tree where this graffiti is carved into the side. It sort of like knits itself back together as they slowly work their hand across the side.
Well, at least someone's taking care of that.
Facetiously, if nothing else. Superficially, I think that's more what I meant to say.
That's better.
Mm-hmm.
A cracking meaning. Well, let's go meet the mourners.
Making your way inside.
If we can.
Yeah. You do so. No one seems to stop you as you make your way sort of up to the front door. It's sort of a wide open sort of cavern carved in. It's still that sort of like molded tree shape as you make your way inside, but the floor in which you walk in on is like the rings of a tree below you, and above you is much the same.
Yes.
And there's like sconces still made of wood kind of growing their way out of the sides of the walls. And the furniture seems to have grown up. It's like connected to the floor, but just like grown up and seemingly carved out of the tree as this room was made.
Nice.
Yes. Where I want to live.
Yeah.
In a hobbit hole.
But yeah, you sort of make your way, and you see a couple of people sort of like busily making their way across until one individual, a half-elf, kind of making his way across the floor, seems to take notice of you. He has those sort of like rounded glasses that are sliding his way down his nose. He's in. Everyone in here seems to be wearing. It's kind of like those collegiate robes that that the professors wear at graduation.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that they're supposed to wear all the time, but
Right. Yes. But but here they do wear them all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone's sort of like busily moving in and out of the building. But he catches a sight of one of you. Can I help you?
We did not mean to intrude. Our apologies, but everyone outside seemed busy. We just needed to speak with someone.
Well, I am someone. Who, may I ask, are you?
Travelers, we're new to the city. My name is Seren.
Seren, well, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, but as you can see, we're all a bit busy. Is there something I can help you with? I don't mean to be abrasive, but normally visitors to the city are more than welcome amongst the stacks, but it is a difficult time for all of us. Is there something I can do for you?
We did hear this, yes. Our condolences.
How do you mean?
We were told that one of your number was lost recently.
Oh, I understand your confusion. Lost, yes. Dead, we don't know yet.
As it happens, we are emissaries of the Duke and Duchesses of Arcadia.
But of course.
We were sent by,
Bernard sent you.
Yes.
We have been most eagerly awaiting your arrival. I must say, you did say that you would be here a tad earlier than you arrived, but nonetheless.
We were waylaid on the plains.
Please forgive my rudeness. My name is Telemond Bravo. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintances. Seren, of course, but the rest of you...
Alcyone.
Yes, of course, Alcyone. You must be Surrie.
Yes, I am.
Yes, excellent. And that would make you Master Kashek.
Yes.
He prefers master be dropped.
Most excellent. Oh, please forgive my prior rudeness. it's a bit of a kerfuffle at the moment. But please, do come in. Can I get you anything?
Oh no, we were quite enjoying the amenities of the weasel, the winking weasel.
Yes.
That's the one.
Ah, yes, but Muma is quite the host.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, goodness gracious.
Please do take your time. We didn't mean to cause such a stir.
No. Time is not something to be doled out in any egregious sense these days. Please. It's most fortunate I was the one that stumbled upon you. I am the one appointed to be your sort of ambassador here at this house. Please, if you would, do follow me.
Yes.
Yeah, I will follow him.
And he leads you through a series of hallways, all kind of carved into this, before he leads you into a massive chamber. Again, it is layer upon layer upon layer of bookshelf. Again, seemingly grown up out of the floor, but each one is packed with tombs. And it sort of stretches on beyond what your eye can see as this sort of grand central opening opens up and the high ceiling kind of domes up above you. My office is just a bit this way. I know the stacks can be a bit overwhelming the first time you see them, but
This is beautiful.
an appreciation for literature, I see.
Yes, performer oftentimes, but gatherer of knowledge and lore other times.
Well, as a performer, you may find what we do here a bit dry, but here at the Scholars' Lodge, we are determined and set towards the safekeeping of the histories of this land.
Excellent. Oh.
Please do, just follow me. Just
Yes,
this
sorry.
way. And he leads you kind of along the outermost wall of this as you make your way through these stacks upon stacks of bookcases until you come to a sort of little alcove, which he gestures you all to move into. And it's a cozy little space with a desk and a few chairs set about, a teapot kind of set up over a little campfire in sort of one of the corners of the room, whistling merrily as you make your way in. Oh, can I get you anything to drink, or...
Quite all right, thank you.
Most excellent. Well, please do have a seat and we shall talk.
Sit.
Gladly, yes.
He fixes himself a cup of tea and comes to settle behind the desk at the back of the room. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, it's the first chance to breathe I've had all day. So, here you are at last in Malorne. Bernard was scant on the details. He just said that you were coming and looking for something.
Information. He's hoping to learn more about the Tower of Stars. To do that, he feels his best repository of knowledge would be the Temple of Cananos.
Yes. Well, forgive my rudeness, but much the same as the best repository of knowledge on unicorns would be in Candyland.
Well, stranger things have happened.
I suppose you're right. The bookshelves outside are testament to such a fact. I don't mean to be terse. Many of us believe that the Temple of Cananos indeed once existed and was a hallmark of culture and identity for our people in the millennia before humans arrived in the valley. But if it still exists out there, it's never been found. We had, one of our scholars particularly interested in the subject. The very same scholar is the one that has most regrettably gone missing, as you understand.
So it appears we'll have to find this person.
If you are hell-bent on your mission, that would seem to be the logical choice, but I believe it is my duty to try to convince you otherwise. You see, this particular scholar was convinced that the Temple of Cananos did indeed exist somewhere deep within the Wolf's Wood. And against all our best wishes and against all our better judgments, this particular scholar was heavily invested in field work, let's call it.
Sure.
But the woods have become a very dangerous place these days. Maith Lane have been, let's say, accelerating their business. We believe it is Maith Lane who has absconded with our scholar.
For the same purposes that we have interest in speaking with them.
That is what concerns me. Yes. Maith Lane, if the whispers are true, they believe, as I believe Bernard does, there is a power inside the Tower of Stars, one that once laid low the grand kingdoms of the elves that existed millennia ago.
They would use it to lay low Arcadia.
I believe that is their intent.
The city surrounds it. If they could find a way to do so.
So you can understand a bit of a tizzy about the place.
Yes.
If our most knowledgeable scholar on the subject has suddenly been captured by them.
So that seems to become a priority rather quickly.
Indeed. What information do you have on where or when he was taken?
I wish I could give you more, but I simply can't. I was not privy to the event. But it would not be hard to find Maith Lane these days. I just worry about what would happen to those who did find them.
Is there any chance that this person went willingly?
I could not imagine into the arms of Maith Lane. No, they are a terrorist organisation, and we are a hub of knowledge and grandeur. We do not associate with such degenerates.
This is the look that I give him.
I cannot pretend that Look, I do not share sympathies with them. Much as I would like to see a few more finely tipped ears on the council in the capital, who wouldn't? But no. They are a band of brigands, thieves and terrorists.
Very well. Then we must be about finding them. Or finding where they might keep someone.
Is this the stir in the wood that might... a charming little friend at the inn, Mumos?
Yes. You wouldn't happen to have heard anything at all about a great white grizzly stag?
Oh, yes, right between the chapter of the big bad wolf and the old woodsman searching for the golden egg.
Of course.
No, he was a very interesting young man.
I'll take your meaning.
The good Master Saul says his mead ventures have been interrupted by this mythical beast.
Well, I do believe his beehives may have been disturbed by something, but dear sweet Mamu has been at the drink for many a long age. I don't know if his judgment is the keenest at this stage.
Well,
Either
way, perhaps it was a regular stag and not a great white grizzly one, but...
Or someone looking to disrupt.
Ah, true. Either way, would that be the sort of disturbance would be the Maith Lane?
I don't know what concern beehives would be to the Maith Lane.
I'm less concerned for the forgive my interruption, but I'm less concerned for the beehives and more concerned for looking at inconspicuous ways to, I don't know, cripple the economy.
Well, his mead is enjoyed, to be sure, but I don't know that the future of the economic prosperity of the Republic depends on it.
If acceleration is their plan.
Small steps begin.
In any case.
I must caution you against the course of action I think you suggest, however. It is true that in years prior, Maith Lane has harried woodsmen and captured nobles from their hunting parties, but it's something different now. They are up to something. I don't know if it's grand fancy or they know something that has eluded the scholars here, but they're hell-bent on something, and they're very, very dangerous and organised.
So
I must caution you against proceeding into the forest.
Well, they've got one thing on us, and that is organisation. What would be your plan of action then?
Well, we are men of learning, not men of action.
Ah.
Thank you for all this information. Scholar, this has been very helpful. I apologize that we got to you rather later than was expected.
I am terribly sorry I could not do more for you. But truly, I think it would be in your best interest to return to the capital, tell Bernard his pursuits of flights of fancy, and get on with the next set of business that I'm sure is plaguing the capital.
Perhaps we shall. But we may yet be in town for a couple of days yet. Would we be permitted to use the stacks at a point?
But of course, as representatives of the capital, that is your right. And he sort of opens up a drawer of his desk, papes out a little piece of parchment, scribbles something across it, and hands it to you. Just present this at the door if you wish to enter the stacks again.
Thank you. We may come back another day soon.
Well, I hope you find something of interest. There is much to be found within. I'm sorry I could not be of more help or service. I know Bernard had great hopes for the temple, but even if it does exist, Maitland are too dangerous. Make the woods too dangerous to pursue such a course.
Do I believe that he thinks he can be of no further help?
Roll insight.
Oh, Seren made her mind up already, so...
Yeah.
22.
If he believes what he is saying to be true.
Yeah. Is that honest that there's really nothing else that he can do? Or is this a... Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He's kind of scared shitless.
Okay, great. If that's a vibe, that's a vibe.
Forgive me, if you intend to take no action, and you don't intend for anyone else to take any action, what do you suppose Maitland will do then?
Well, I can't know their intentions, to be true.
Right, but nothing will get any better.
Scarlet Lodge has persevered through the turnings of many ages. What we offer is an invaluable resource and collection of histories. We are not indebted to any in particular party. We pursue our research above all.
Neutrality.
Well, perhaps some party of adventurers will come along and solve their problem for them at some point. I jest.
They are not the first to dream of an elven redomination of this river valley, and I don't take it they will be the last. Times being what they are now. The world is changing. We will be here to record it as it happens.
Sure. I'm just saying, you seem very uncomfortable with the idea of them gaining any more power, but you intend to do nothing about it and intend to dissuade people from doing anything about it.
I simply speak to your safety.
That's very kind.
It is not individuals that turn the wheels of time and fate. It is the actions of many.
And that's something we know quite well. It is the safety of many that I'm concerned with now.
I share your concerns.
We have kept you long enough. Thank you very much for all you've told us.
Sorry, I cannot provide more. And I am sorry if this comes as a disappointment to Bernard. He is a close friend.
Is there any way of safely sending messages to the capital here in Malorne?
But of course, there is our scribal service. But if you are in need of a more immediate form of communication, there is also a service many of us can provide.
Excellent. Not as of yet, but once we perhaps draft something to inform good Bernard, then we may just.
Well, should you need to send a message to him, I am more than happy to accommodate. That at least I can do.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Well, enjoy your time in Malorne nonetheless.
We shall. Shall we be on our way?
Yeah. I will exit.
Yeah.
Pursued by Owlbear.
Yeah!
Trump.
Like as soon as we're out of earshot of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
We're going into the forest, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for saying it. We were all thinking it.
It doesn't do to give that man any more of a heart attack than he's trying to have.
Doesn't you just sit around and do nothing?
Neutrality only ever aids those who are up to things.
Sure. They are also scholars. There are
I understand, but
soldiers around the place.
I'm just not sure what they think is going to happen when help falls into the lap and they say, no, thank you, please, we'll work this out.
That's what I was saying.
Well, they're not saying they're going to work it out.
They're going to document it as it happens around them.
I don't understand being so concerned if you're just going to let it happen anyway.
Either way.
It is not given to all people the power to do and to act. We are fortunate in that we have had a chance to do so. Not everyone has.
I'm just saying it seems so futile.
There's...
What is the point?
How must it feel from their perspective? To have no strength or feel that you have none.
Remind me to tell you a story about me a few months ago.
Well. We are outsiders, well, for a fresh perspective. In any case, I think we have some beehives to investigate.
Alright.
Shall we go fetch your father for that then?
Yes.
Oh, I thought we were going to wait to get him until we went into the woods.
Right.
He is not a great investigator.
The beehives are out in the forest.
He wants to save the
He
bees.
said, Muma Saul said, if you are heading into the forest,
Sure.
perhaps you could check up on my beehives.
Rejected then.
Hyros wants to save the bees. We'll go get him.
Then yes, we can do that. So where are we time-wise in the day right now?
That meeting couldn't have taken too long. 1 in the afternoon.
Alright.
Unless anyone has any compunctions, we can go get that and venture into the woods.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Heading back to Winky Weasels.
Yeah.
Okay. And then preparing to set out on an adventure to save some bees.
That's right.
I think that's a place to call it.
Yeah. I'll do it.